fasting can never be an end in itself, but only a means. Means for what? A means to come closer to God and to bring other people closer to God. Brothers and sisters, today the first reading spoke about fasting, and Isaiah is very strong with the people that they are very much worried about keeping the fast for the sake of keeping the fast, but their actual life is something entirely different. And he says, instead of wasting time like this in rituals, you should spend more time in freeing the oppressed and visiting the lonely, feeding the hungry, and so on. So, all these spiritual activities must be reflected in their own lives, otherwise, the fasting becomes a waste. That's why sister made a meaningful mistake. You have wasted instead of fasted, but what she meant was fasting without proper understanding is wasting. So, thank you. So, the homily point was already there in the first reading when the sister read it. Today fasting in the modern culture, we don't pay much attention because youngsters, they have their own arguments. Why to fast? By my fasting, will others get benefit and so on. And also today we live in an instant culture, right? Everything instant. Instant coffee, instant dress, instant passport, instant dosamavu. So everything instant, we are not ready to undergo the process, right? So there the fasting loses its meaning, but fasting it's really a very resourceful thing. Even Jesus says that you will get the power over the evil spirit. He tells the disciples, such kind of evil spirit cannot be driven away without fasting and prayer. So fasting enables us spiritually, but unfortunately we don't realize much. At least those days, no, when we were young at home and all, no, my mother used to tell about the importance of fasting, mortification, sacrificing desires. Suppose you want to drink the water immediately, wait for 5 minutes and offer that for the conversion of soul, then you take water. Even that time also I asked, Mummy, I want to sacrifice now, but I want to sacrifice the desire of sacrificing, let me take the water now only. Then she must have thought, this fellow will become a priest. And that too in JDV professor, because JDV enables us to justify all that we do. Whether this way or that way, we have our own philosophy, our own theology to justify. Anyway, so fasting, we must be able to sacrifice the desire, what we actually want to do. Suppose if you don't have the habit of smoking, there's no meaning in saying, oh, this for Lenten season, I'm not going to smoke. But otherwise, are you smoking? No, I never smoked, right? So, smoking, stopping the smoking is a sacrifice only for the fellow who has been smoking. And we don't see really the meaning of fasting, the self-sacrifice, etc. And we give undue importance to certain activities, but the real spirit, we lose it. Once a priest was walking in a lonely place. It was rather winter season. He had overcoat, etc. Suddenly, a robber appeared in front of him with a gun, right? Gun point. You take your money, otherwise I'll shoot you. The priest said, no, don't harm me. I don't have much money. Either your purse or your life. No, I don't have any money. No, you take your wallet. I'll kill you. And then the priest removed his overcoat and took out the wallet. Then he saw the priestly collar, that white collar. Then the robber said, oh, sorry, Father, you are a priest. I am sorry. I am also Anthony. I am also Catholic. Okay, I will not harm you. Then they started walking together. At one point, the priest wanted to smoke cigar. Then he offered a cigar to that. So, Mr. Anthony, you like to smoke? Then he said, no, Father, I don't smoke during the Lent season. So, he doesn't smoke during the Lent season, but he was ready to kill him, isn't it? So, that's what his observance of Lent. He didn't get it. Anthony was ready to kill the priest, and it's too early to understand certain smoking and all, right? And if you don't have the habit of smoking, you cannot understand. So the man was ready to kill him, but he was not ready to smoke because it was a Lent season. So the point is, all this fast for what we do. That's the thing. Today we need to enlighten ourselves and the others also, the youngsters, especially when they ask these questions. Fasting enables us to have a control over my passion. That I want to do something, let me postpone, so that I have I am gaining some control over my own desires and able to control myself. Also, it's a chance for me to realize the pangs of hunger. In our case, we may not have felt the real pangs of hunger, how to be really hungry, right? At least when we fast in the morning, we are sure of eating something in the afternoon. When we fast in the afternoon, we are sure of eating something at night. But when millions of people in the world they don't get food, they are not sure when they will get their next meal, whether they will get their next meal. So when I voluntarily fast and feel the pangs of hunger, it enables me sociologically, socially speaking, to realize the pangs of hunger. Also, the little money that I have saved, it must reach to the other people. I save some money and put it back into my pocket. It doesn't make sense. Maybe in a community, we are not going to save individually, maybe as a community together, the seminary or the convent, that it should reach out by the savings that we have saved through this fasting, so it reaches out. As I said, it enables us to have the real spiritual power. Today we are not able to control ourselves, right? That passion. We say anything instantly, getting angry instantly. We don't know why we shout, right? Later we sit back and realize that means we lose control of our own passion, our own drives, right? And today they speak so much about emotional intelligence, right? Daniel Goleman says emotions are the gold mine, like, no, and it has a lot of power. All our external actions, words, etc., are determined by the invisible emotions inside. The emotions are like the iceberg, right? In the iceberg, in the polar regions, you will see only the small portion will be seen over the surface of the water, but the bigger portion will be hidden, right? Submerged. 1/10 is only seen, the 90% is hidden inside. So our emotions are like this, 90% are hidden inside, and this 10% visible actions and the words are determined by the invisible emotions, and we need to become emotional intelligence. Anyway, that's a big topic in itself. So all these things will be helped, will be nurtured by this ability to fast. And first, in today, our youngsters, boys, no, girls, they are not ready for waiting for the process. They want immediately the product, as I said, instant culture. Recently, they conducted some studies with young children. They said, if you want this ice cream, 1 cup immediately. But if you wait for 5 minutes, we'll give 2 cups. They said one is enough. Now you give immediately, right? But 2 cups are no, that is okay. So everything immediately. So that immediate or instant culture is actually is against us. It doesn't allow us to go for fasting. So this Lenten season is really a beautiful season to introspect into ourselves. And this fasting, prayer, and almsgiving are the three big pillars of the Jewish traditions. And those people, as Isaiah said, they were all fulfilling only the duties of fasting, but they don't see the real meaning behind it. And as I said, fasting can never be in itself, but it can be only a means to something greater. And what is that something greater? In my opinion, to come closer to God and to bring other people closer to God. Let's think about it today.